Aries. Today, the opening asks for less enthusiasm and more precision. Picture one room. Inside it are a small but not random opportunity, your reaction, and what you no longer want to carry. Jupiter is widening the field of desire, creativity, and pleasure. So, the question is not whether there is more available, but what truly deserves space. This is a tiptoe kind of day, the kind that rewards anyone who doesn't confuse caution with exhaustion. If you keep watching instead of choosing, a small but not random opportunity can lose weight. Not because it was false, but because you never gave it its moment. If you stay too composed, the useful moment can pass and leave you only with an elegant version of regret. Waiting for a more theatrical confirmation could make you miss the useful margin you could have used with clarity. Move. Treat the opening like something alive. Make room for it now, not just theoretical attention. Save it for the moment fear tries to call itself common sense. Taurus. There is a narrow window for Taurus. If you wait too long, it turns into noise. The issue is not huge, but it is precise. A useful answer at work decides how clear you stay in the scene. Jupiter is moving through your home, roots, and emotional base area, creating space. But useful space has to be occupied with precision. This is a practical door, not a dream. Touch it now, or you will find it has already turned into delay. The real opening does not put on a show. The signal inside a useful answer at work has to be recognized while it is still small. If you stay too composed, the useful moment can pass and leave you only with an elegant version of regret. For Taurus, calm becomes a trap when standing still costs more than choosing. If you let this opening evaporate, you do not just lose a chance, you also lose trust in your ability to recognize one. Move. Choose where the opening is most real, and give it a minimal form that cannot evaporate. Come back here before closing down an opening, just because it asks for presence. Gemini. If your body, voice, or bill creates friction, do not cover it with elegance. Mercury activates home, roots, and emotional base. The choice can no longer stay automatic. The risk does not shout. It becomes friction while everyone pretends not to notice. This is about home, a simple request, a yes given to keep the peace, a threshold nobody names. Gemini. Speaking well is not enough today. If you circle the point, you keep half the scene for yourself. Giving in by a centimeter can seem loving. Giving in all the time becomes an unspoken contract. The problem is not the request, it is the boundary left unsaid. Home is not really calm if you are the only one paying for the calm. The strong move is a boundary stated softly, before the wall. Are you protecting home or buying quiet with a piece of yourself? Write down who does what. Wait. Confirm only what you can carry. Move. Say the boundary before the discomfort turns into a pattern. Listen again before confusing relief with direction. Cancer. Today, real care has a boundary, not an excuse. Picture the final scene of the day. Do you want to see a pressure that still needs to be removed, or an answer that leaves you more intact? Saturn is testing the field of intimacy, shared resources, and transformation on the facts. What has no structure scrapes today. This is a day that can keep moving strongly on the outside, but it asks you not to spend your last margin as if it were endless. Concrete care has little theater and a lot of effect. Lower the noise before it becomes a command. For Cancer, the risk is buying peace outside and ending up emptied inside. If you keep treating recovery as optional, the day can close with more presence lost than real results. If you keep sacrificing the pressure that needs to be removed, clarity pays before results do. Move. Choose one concrete form of care instead of promising yourself you will recover later. Listen again when fatigue tries to pass itself off as guilt. Leo. If a bond that needs to become real touches your live wire, do not turn it into fairy tale or verdict too fast. The test is small. What changes when a bond that needs to become real stops being only talk? Saturn is weighing on the relationships, agreements, and confrontation field. The choice needs structure, not justification. It is a sentence that could bring you closer for real, or buy peace for a few hours. This is not generic romance. That contact measures how intact you can stay while something moves you. For Leo, pride only helps when it leaves room for the real choice. The stake is not letting the need to be chosen make you call love something that does not keep you whole. If it moves you but doesn't protect you, the bill can arrive as confusion, dependency, or a dignity you gave up. Move, name what you feel with restraint, but do not give more presence than the other side can actually hold. Listen again when you are tempted to choose intensity over clarity. Virgo. For Virgo, the resource to protect is not only money, it is position. First frame. Something inside a concession that is becoming a price looks at ye before you have decided what to do with it. With Jupiter active, the work, method, and health area can expand. It only works if you choose a concrete direction. Value becomes real when a concession that is becoming a price stops being atmosphere and turns into a declared measure. This is a micro-negotiation about power. Whoever defines the price also defines the rhythm. For Virgo, detail helps only if it is not being used to postpone the real cost. The risk is accepting the wrong measure today and finding yourself tomorrow defending a boundary that has already been eroded. The risk is paying so you don't seem difficult, then having to defend a much larger boundary later. Move, write down the figure, the time, and the limit. Confirm only what stays clean. Save it before you say yes to a figure you never actually looked at. Libra. Today, love does not reward the performance. It rewards the true sentence. This is not theory. A desire that should not be confused with confirmation touches the way you protect time, desire, boundary, or dignity. Saturn is active, and the field of desire, creativity, and pleasure is asking for a boundary. Less promise, more real staying power. It is a chat, a look, a pause where you realize whether you want contact or just confirmation. For Libra, useful peace does not leave a desire that should not be confused with confirmation hanging in the vague. Desire becomes readable today in the way that signal respects or consumes your boundary. Today the point is not winning the argument in love. It is not betraying your own measure just to keep the contact alive. If the living part moves you but does not protect you, the bill can arrive as confusion, dependency, or a dignity you gave up. Move. Before answering, remove the line that asks for confirmation, and leave the one that can still stand tomorrow. Come back here, before letting the need to be chosen matter more than your measure. Scorpio. If you leave a hidden price inside vague peace, someone is already choosing the value for you. Mark the limit without theater. A hidden price inside peace needs an edge, not another explanation. Jupiter makes the home, roots, and emotional base area more generous, but also riskier if you confuse trust with diffusion. It is an unspoken figure, a favor that keeps growing, time someone already assumes is available. Unspoken value does not stay neutral. It becomes surrendered margin, given away time, and a price set by someone else. The stake is not letting social or emotional discomfort set the price in place of your judgment. For Scorpio, depth becomes useful when it stops speaking from behind control. The unnamed cost often becomes an accepted cost. Move. Separate the wish for peace from the concrete price, then decide with clarity which one you can actually carry. Come back here before treating your time like a coin without a price. Sagittarius. If the silence burns, do not extinguish it with the first reply. Today you have two doors. Hit send so the tension drops fast, or slow down and give the reply shape. The moon makes visible the point that should not be handled on autopilot. It is that message left open, the sentence already prepared, the finger hovering over send because silence is bothering you. The first door discharges the silence. The second keeps one sentence from taking control of you. For Sagittarius, the broad yes is seductive. Today, freedom comes through a written limit. If you have to correct it 3 times before sending, that is not clarity. That is a wound in nice clothes. The strong move is a sentence shorter than the one you wanted to send. Do you want to clarify, or just stop the silence from bothering you? Reread, cut one line, keep only one decision open. Move, send the version that still respects your boundary. Come back here before saying yes out of fatigue, not choice. Capricorn. If a margin for recovery feels heavy, do not force it. Repair the right point. If you do not measure a margin for recovery, the day finds a price anyway, and it often puts it on your side. Saturn is putting weight on the resources, money, and value axis. If the pact is weak, you feel it in the body of the day. This is the point where recovery stops looking like a luxury and becomes the base that keeps the rest from collapsing. When you remove pressure in the right place, that margin gives back more clarity than another show of endurance would. For Capricorn, useful discipline is not about enduring forever, but about choosing better. If you recover earlier, you choose better later. Today, the pause is part of the strategy. The risk is ending the day on your feet, but with too little presence left to choose well. Move. Reduce one concrete demand before it becomes the center of your mood. Send it to whoever needs to remember that recovering well is an adult choice. Aquarius. Do not wait for the perfect signal. The real window is often uncomfortable. This is an opportunity that does not sell itself as a miracle. It looks like work, choice, precision. Narrow the field. When you focus only on the live point, a live margin to use now starts telling the truth. Jupiter brings breathing room into the identity-body-presence axis. If you use it well, a choice grows, not just a bitter illusion. The opening does not stay open out of politeness. If a live margin to use now is calling, it wants an answer before habit returns. For Aquarius, mental distance helps only if it is not just an elegant way of staying out of the scene. The stake is knowing whether you really want the movement you keep describing, or only the comfort of imagining it. If that opening stays suspended, tomorrow you may call chance what was choice today. Move. Do not open 3 scenarios. Confirm the small step that keeps the best possibility alive. Use it as a reminder when fear tries to look like prudence. Pisces. If the value is unclear, do not fill the gap with politeness. What repeats today needs to be heard. A small request that expands the bill is knocking on the same point in a different tone. With Saturn on the resources, money, and value axis, the sky is not asking for hardness. It is asking for form, responsibility, and limits. This is the boundary between availability and surrender. Subtle, concrete, and less negotiable than usual today. The practical boundary protects dignity. Do not let a small request that expands the bill depend only on politeness. Today, the real loss is not seeming rigid. It is giving away value before you have even named it. For Pisces, the day rewards you when you turn intuition into a gesture, not just an atmosphere. The risk is buying peace with a resource you will need intact tomorrow. Move, name the cost, time, or limit at the same moment the discomfort starts to rise. Save it before you sign, with silence, for a price you never really accepted.